Welcome to the Inalienable Right Guys. We hold all these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, with certain inalienable rights that are endowed by,
you know, the thing.
The thing.
All right, so we're going to talk about the notorious ACB, Amy Coney Barrett.
Not B.I.G.
Yeah, or RBG.
Or RBG.
So, man, these people are going crazy about, you know, her not, about the whole process being wrong. You know, they shouldn't even be doing this. If you've been watching any of the hearing, which I haven't been watching a whole lot, but I've seen a few bits of it. They just want to say that the whole thing is just completely wrong. They can't do this. I was reading some of the comments, and some of the people commented on it. They're not allowed to do this. How come they got two different constitutions? You know, we got a constitution for the Republicans and a constitution for the Democrats. Blah, you know, I'm like, no, wait a minute. No.
What little I've seen, Mark, is that this woman is Trump was masterful at picking this woman. She brings a certain decorum with her knowledge of jurisprudence and law, but
exactly.
Also her humility and her patience to sit back and take these arrows and darts that they was throwing at her. Some of the had nothing to do with the confirmation.
Nothing.
It just blew my mind.
Because they can't get her on her record. You know, they can't get her on her qualifications because it's spotless. You know, even the American Bar Association, who is not a right-leaning, you know, thing, they're pretty much left-leaning, and even they gave her the highest, you know, scores. So they can't get her on that. So they gotta try to pull all kinds of silly stuff out of their hat,
right,
to get her on. But the thing that gets me is they're trying to say that this is like this is illegal, like they can't do this. And this has happened 29 times.
Right.
In the history of the country, it has happened 29 times where the president was able to nominate somebody during an election year.
Right, and they try to get the president of Gorsuch, not Gorsuch, the Obama administration, when he had a chance to elect somebody in the Senate, wouldn't bring it up for
right. And in those 29 times, 19 of those times, the president and the Senate were the same party. And of those, I believe it's 17 were confirmed.
That's right.
In an election year, president and the Senate, same party.
And as the old saying says, election has consequences.
Exactly. And they want to say it's about this election. No, it's about the former elections. The 2018 election and the 2016 election. Those are the consequences that we're dealing with now. When whoever is in there in January of 2021, then they'll get their say.
And then the line and the question that the liberals was throwing at her, they was all hypothetical. Well, and she was so well versed, and she was like, I don't get into hypotheticals, because it's like asking somebody to judge on something that hadn't happened, or and to give the Democrats insight on will she be working for them or working for their cause, which you know
right.
Roe versus Wade is their biggest concern. They keep hollering about Obamacare and individual mandate. The pre-existing conditions. Yeah. But that ain't gonna get done with even under the president's new.
That was probably one of the only parts of Obamacare that pretty much everybody agreed on.
That's exactly.
You know, because it has been such an issue in the past where people, you know, get cancer and all of a sudden, you know, they don't have insurance, they can't get insurance. That was a big thing, and I think pretty much everybody kind of agreed on that particular thing.
That's right.
You know, but all the rest of the stuff is garbage, and they've you know, pretty much Trump administration or whatever they've talked about. We're keeping all that stuff. That's everybody understands that's important.
Well, I seen them. Trump being a registered Democrat for all them years, I see him beating them at their own game. Everything that they, project on the other side, the things that they say they uphold, like women's rights, she's a family, she have children, when they talk about 2 black kids, adopted them from Haiti, these things that if it was on their side, they'll be lauding and upholding and lifting up.
Oh yeah, exactly. Exactly. We said before, in the past we talked about this projection. They want to project all these negative things on her. Mm-hmm. But dang good and well, if the shoe was on the other foot, they would be lauding her for all these things. Right. For her accomplishments, for her children, for adopting children, children of color. They'd be making a big deal out of it. But, that because that's not the case, they want to try to tear her down. And it's just crazy.
ACB.
That's it.
I mean, she has held her own ground, and I'm convinced that, I don't know what not Mitt Romney, but
Mitch
McConnell, what is he waiting on as far as after the confirmation? Is he going to wait? Is he going to go and get this done before the election, or is he going to...
Well, that's the thing that when they first said they were going to do this, that's the thing I was thinking, why are you going to put this lady through this? Because, you saw all the stuff that happened with Kavanaugh.
Right.
Well, and I don't know, I did see one part where the senator from Hawaii, Hirono, got on there, have you ever molested anybody? Or you ever,
in front of a kid.
What? Yeah, I ask everybody that comes up, when we have these judicial appointments, I ask really, you're going to ask you that question?
And I heard something that they asked about sexual orientation, and I heard someone told me this today that just in one day, I think it's Webster or one of the dictionaries took that out, that you can't ask no one about their sexual orientation.
Yeah, a preference. Sexual
preference. Sexual preference.
Yeah, sexual
exactly.
preference.
Thank you for the correction. Sexual preference. And now they went back and showed hundreds of clips of Democrats asking people about their sexual preference.
I believe it.
They
just change the game as they go along.
Yeah, this is emotionalism. This is insane.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know why. Like I was going to say, it's like, I don't know why they just come out and say, okay, yeah, we like this person. She's in. We got put it out for a vote.
We got the votes.
We got the vote. Put it out for a vote and drag this woman through this mess. And believe me, you can tell that she's probably one of the smartest people in that room, and she handles herself perfectly. And maybe that's part of it. They wanted to show that she's not even taking notes. Pull up a notebook and it's like there's nothing on it.
And I like that because I think that it's a political calculation.
It is.
They wanted the cause of Kavanaugh, I believe, that the way they just showed themselves to be just this ungodly faction that just hell-bent on destroying people's lives. I think they wanted to show right before the election, they showed some more of this. Not that they wanted Amy to be harmed like this, but that the mere fact that they want them to show their horns again. They want the left to show their horns.
Right.
I think it was a political.
Yeah, and that's probably true.
Because it wasn't necessary. Because, like you said, they got the points.
No. And if you go back in history and you look, there's been, I think, 4 Supreme Court nominees that were nominated and confirmed in the same day. And there was a whole bunch of them that have been 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's not like there's a precedent for them having to do it. I know when they first announced her, I think they said there was like 45, 46 days left before the election.
Okay.
And, of course, they were saying, there's not enough time to do all this. Ruth Bader Ginsberg was done in like 42 days.
Yes, yeah, I heard of that.
Sandra Day O'Connor was like 33, I think 32 or 33. Whole bunch of them within 10 days. And like I said, there was 4, that if I remember correctly, there was 4 that were done the same day. So I was almost like, okay, he announced that on a Saturday. Why don't Monday we just come out and say, okay, we got the votes. We're just gonna.
Right.
But political circus on both sides. I think they want to put this out there, and I feel bad for the lady. Having to go through all this.
And one sense I do, but she really handled herself.
Yeah.
Marvelous in my estimation.
Well,
I mean, the parts that I saw, I know I cherry picked some things because I couldn't sit there and watch some of this. It's so cringy. Mm-hmm.
It is. It's completely cringy. You watch, some of these folks and what the questions they're asking, and just
really? And Kovachev.
Yeah, and she just kind of looks at him like, this is the dumbest question. It's absurd.
Yeah. And they ascribing motives to the woman. Was you there when Gore Bush back in the days clerking, and three of y'all that Trump chose all had some affiliation with the Gore Bush decision back in I think 2004 or something, the election, and she was trying, and the woman just flat out tell you, look, what you trying to do? I told y'all earlier, me and Trump have no contracts. We have no agreements that if he put me here, I'm gonna do this, such and such. But the line of questions was just dripping with ulterior motives or some kind of agenda.
Right.
And
well,
just ignorant.
And the other thing that is erroneous on a lot of people's part out there that are against her is this whole idea that, like, if she gets in there on the court, that they're automatically going to go throw Roe versus Wade out. They're automatically going to throw the ACA and all this other. It's not how it works. Mm-hmm. They don't understand. They don't understand a whole lot about our government, but and how it works. But it doesn't work that way. You have to have a specific case come before the court. And then they can discuss it and hand down some sort of verdict.
Well, let me ask you a question.
You're just going to go in there and throw it out.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that these so-called people that are supposed to be legislators and lawmakers, are they that unlearned about the way the Constitution works, or are they just promoting their agenda? Because they can't be that aloof, man.
Well, it makes you wonder. It really does. It makes you wonder because some of it.
I know they're lazy. They don't seem like they studied.
But I don't know. There's probably a few, the AOCs of the world that kind of make you wonder, like, do they really know what they're doing, or are they really as ignorant as they sound? There may be some that are, but you would think most of them, because a lot of them are lawyers or whatever, you would think that they would understand these things.
That's what I mean. They're lawyers.
So, yeah, they just doing it for the agenda.
Well, thanks for that. Well, I mean, that's about as good an answer I can expect.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I just think it's a done deal.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I just, this whole process is just silly to me. The circus, and it's like, why are we watching the circus? Why we got this lady up here being put through this mess? Let's just get it over with. But that's politics.
Yes, exactly. And the good thing about it is that right now the election will have consequences, and as a result, we will have her confirmed.
Oh yeah.
And as a result, again, Trump has knocked it out of the ballpark with Amy Coney Barrett. He has truly knocked it out of the ballpark, and the two before him. So that's three. And if we get this next election, who knows? Maybe a couple more.
That's a whole nother subject.
Yeah. Clarence Thomas is about 80. 82.
Well, not him, but there's another one. I can't remember the other guy's name. There's another one that he's like 81, 2, something like that. But yeah, he's up there. Mm-hmm. So, and if Trump gets reelected, then if I was him, as that's what I would do.
Exactly.
Because that's really what Ruth Bader Ginsberg should have done about the 2015, 14, somewhere in there.
Gave him a chance.
You know, yeah. Said, okay, you know, because at that point she was, you know, about 80, you know, whatever. It's
so
like,
that's what they call, so
bow
if the
out
Democrats win, they don't know that. They don't know that.
No.
That's why they call it lifetime appointment. They literally mean that. Sometimes I wonder about some preachers, you know, they're like, man, you can go on and, you know, on into, you know, the sunset. But that's what the Democrats, so, I mean, this has angered them and riled them to fever proportions, and that's why they do talk about packing the courts if they get a chance. I'm convinced they'll try to put 15, 20 Supreme Court justices in there to try to change it.
Was it FDR tried to put, I think, 6 in there. He tried to put in a deal, from what I remember, because I just read this not too long ago, that he tried to have him put in a deal where when justice reached, I think, 70 years old, that he would allow the president to pick another one. So that way, you knew that one wasn't going to be there for very long. So you could have, you know, maybe, you know, and so that you would have somebody else. Well, at the time, there was like 6, I think, that were over 70. So that would allow him to pick 6 people, to nominate 6 people. And so the court would have swelled to 15.
Right.
You know, which would have been all progressive, and yeah, you can imagine what that would have done.
And we as Inalienable Right Guys, we you know, don't have all the information that some of the most astute constitutionalists and scholars have. But what Mark is saying now, I'm hearing this for like the first time, but it's something that we can go to history and find out that there's always been an attempt by the left to pack the courts and to have it
legislate from the court.
Yeah, legislate from the court.
Legislate from the bench. So that's got to stop. And I don't think, if you look at, you know, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, and I think even, you know, Amy Coney Barrett, they're not going to be that way. I mean, they really believe in not only the Constitution but the jurisprudence, which is precedent.
So far, people don't even know that the two that Trump, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, already ruled against Trump on a few occasions.
Oh, a few things, yeah, based on those principles. So, yeah, just to say that they're just gonna totally turn the court upside down, it's ridiculous.
It's fear-mongering.
It is. It's ridiculous. All right, well, that's probably enough for this segment. So,
there you have it again. The Inalienable Right Guys. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, with certain inalienable rights that are endowed by their Creator.
You know, the thing
that